Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Bold and beautiful preview. Tom claims he is Luna's father, and everyone but Hope celebrates Thomas and Paris' engagement. In the latest The Bold and the Beautiful preview for July 1 to 5, is it really love between Thomas and Paris? Read on and watch the preview below. After spotting Poppy at Il Giardino, and later learning she was living with Bill Spencer, Tom made a special pizza delivery to the house. A confrontation occurred and it was revealed Poppy and Tom were old friends as he used to play the concert circuit back in the day, around the same time Poppy met Bill. Coming up, Poppy tells Tom, "Leave Luna and me alone." Tom says, "I'm Luna's dad." Is he? And if so, is this why Lay perhaps made sure it looked like Bill was Luna's father? Hope was stunned when Thomas returned home with Douglas and Paris, who he was engaged to. Hope was even further shocked when Douglas called Paris mom. Hope confronted Thomas, feeling this was moving way too fast, even pulling him into a kiss. Thomas, however, insisted he was marrying Paris, and Steffi took no time in gloating to Hope that she couldn't get her brother back so easily this time. Coming up, Paris listens as Hope wails to Thomas, "I still love you. And deep down, I believe you still love me too." Does Thomas still love Hope? Is this all some elaborate plot, or does he really love Paris? And what about poor Finn? Finally, Eric declares to a group at the Forrester mansion, "I guess we're about to have another wedding." The cork pops on a champagne bottle, confetti flies, and Paris and Thomas kiss as Hope agonizes. The golden hues of the Forrester mansion shimmered in the morning sunlight, casting a warm glow across the expansive living room. Despite the serene exterior, inside, emotions ran high as the Forrester and Logan families gathered for what promised to be a day full of unexpected revelations and joyous celebrations. Thomas Forrester stood at the center of the room, his tall frame and intense gaze commanding attention. The room buzzed with a mixture of anticipation and skepticism. Hope Logan, her expression torn between disbelief and concern, stood beside him, her hand clutching a delicate teacup that had long gone cold. "I have something important to say," Thomas began, his voice steady yet carrying an undertone of urgency. "Something that will change everything." Steffi Forrester, Thomas's sister, exchanged a curious glance with her husband, Finn. Ridge and Brooke, pillars of strength and wisdom, watched their son intently, while Eric Forrester, the family patriarch, remained calm, his wise eyes observing the unfolding drama. "Luna is my daughter," Thomas declared, his words slicing through the air like a knife. A collective gasp echoed through the room. Luna, a beautiful young woman with striking blue eyes and a mane of dark hair, stood at the edge of the gathering, her face a mask of shock and confusion. She had only recently become acquainted with the Forresters, having arrived in Los Angeles under mysterious circumstances. "No," Hope whispered, her voice trembling. "Thomas, this can't be true." Thomas turned to face Hope, his expression softening. "It is true, Hope. Luna is my daughter. I didn't know about her until recently, but the evidence is irrefutable." Hope's mind raced as she tried to process this revelation. She had always believed in second chances, but Thomas's history of deceit and obsession made it difficult for her to accept his words at face value. Still, the sincerity in his eyes gave her pause. Ridge stepped forward, his authoritative presence demanding answers. "Thomas, how can you be sure?" Thomas reached into his pocket and pulled out a folded piece of paper. "I had a DNA test done. The results came back positive. Luna is my biological daughter." Eric, always the voice of reason, approached Thomas. "We need to hear Luna's side of the story. Luna, how do you feel about this?" Luna, still reeling from the bombshell, took a deep breath. I don't know what to say. This is all so overwhelming. I've always wondered about my real father, but I never imagined it would be someone like Thomas." Thomas took a step towards Luna, his eyes filled with emotion. "Had no idea, Luna. But now that I do, I want to be there for you. I want to make up for lost time. As Luna and Thomas shared a tentative, heartfelt embrace, the atmosphere in the room began to shift. The initial shock was giving way to a sense of acceptance and curiosity about what this newfound relationship would bring. Meanwhile, Paris Buckingham, who had been silently observing the unfolding drama, took a step forward. Her presence commanded attention, her radiant smile lighting up the room. "In the midst of all this, Thomas and I have some news of our own," she announced, her eyes sparkling with joy. Thomas, momentarily distracted from the revelation about Luna, turned to Paris, his expression softening even further. "Paris and I are engaged," he declared, his voice filled with happiness. The room erupted into cheers and applause, everyone but Hope joining in the celebration. Steffi and Finn embraced Thomas and Paris, while Ridge and Brooke shared proud smiles. Even Eric couldn't hide his delight, clapping his hands together in approval. Hope, however, stood apart from the joyous crowd, her emotions a whirlwind of conflicting feelings. She wanted to be happy for Thomas and Paris, but the revelation about Luna still weighed heavily on her heart. She couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to the story, and her instincts told her to remain cautious. As the celebrations continued, Hope found herself drifting towards the balcony, seeking solace in the quiet serenity of the garden below. She needed time to think, to process everything that had happened. The sun was setting, casting a golden glow over the landscape, and Hope couldn't help but feel a sense of foreboding. Thomas noticed her absence and followed her outside. "Hope," he called gently, his voice filled with concern. "Are you okay?" Hope turned to face him, her eyes reflecting the turmoil within. "Thomas, I want to believe you. I want to believe that you've changed, that you're telling the truth. But this is all so much to take in." Thomas reached out and took her hand, his touch reassuring. "I understand, Hope. I know I've made mistakes in the past and I don't expect you to trust me overnight. But I promise you I'm doing everything I can to be a better person for you, for Douglas, and now for Luna." Hope looked into his eyes, searching for the sincerity she so desperately wanted to find. "I hope you're right, Thomas. For all our sakes." As the evening wore on, the celebrations inside continued with laughter, music, and heartfelt toasts. Thomas and Paris basked in the glow of their engagement, surrounded by family and friends who were genuinely happy for them. Luna, still adjusting to the idea of having a father, found herself welcomed into the fold with open arms. But outside on the balcony, Hope remained pensive. She knew that the future held many uncertainties, and she couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning of a new chapter in their lives, one that would test their bonds and challenge their faith in each other. As the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Hope made a silent vow to herself. She would keep an open mind and heart, but she would also remain vigilant. For in the world of the bold and the beautiful, one could never be too sure of what lay around the corner.